Hey guys, welcome back to Soul Speak Visions. Brian here. Today I wanted to, first off, let me go ahead and say I hope you guys had a happy holiday. A happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas, or however you choose to celebrate the holiday season and what it really means to you. I hope that you had a meaningful, enjoyable time with loved ones, with family and friends, and those that you enjoy spending time with. I hope that you had a great holiday season. I certainly did. I was able to see a lot of family that I don't always see that often, some friends that I don't see too often, and really have some meaningful time with loved ones. And I really started to get into that holiday spirit, a few days before Christmas, because, it's a delayed effect for me. I don't really get into the Christmas spirit until maybe Christmas Eve, and it really hits me like, regardless of what you believe or what it really means to you, the togetherness aspect of it, and the fact that, you are surrounded by loved ones, and, there is a gentle peace in the air. It's something that, you can't really compare to that. And I hope that you guys had a great holiday season. And I hope that you continue to have a great new year, and, for the foreseeable future, I hope a lot of great, fortunate things uncover for you, and that you follow your own path and live out whatever dreams you may have for 2018. I know that I'm very excited for some of the upcoming projects I have, as far as Soul Speak Visions, as well as the art of juggling. And something today, what this video is about, that I wanted to speak on. This is another thing that I have been working at, and this is my art, my paintings, and my self-expression, my creative expression as a painter. Now, if you know me, if you're a friend of mine, you probably know that I paint. If you're new to the channel, then you might not be aware, but I have been painting for about 3 years now, and I consider myself an abstract painter, and I am someone that loves painting, and I love being prolific and really letting creativity and the flow of creativity sort of live through me, so to speak. And today, this video is dedicated to my love for painting and artistry, creative expression in general. A little backstory: I started painting, like I said, about 3 years ago. The reason I started painting was a good friend of mine suggested that I try painting as a means to alleviate stress in my life, to alleviate depression and feelings of anxiety. And, I had never really thought about it, but, I had considered myself a creative person up until that point, mostly with writing as well as guitar. And I never really thought of myself as someone who would be good at art. I didn't take art classes growing up. In the mandatory art classes, I was never one of the really, great artists, and I just assumed, because I don't really know how to draw, and in my mind, art has to do with sketching and drawing and being able to draw, real live things. And it never occurred to me that abstract art was something that, would cater to sort of my mindset, because I couldn't draw anything beyond a stick figure, and so, like I said, a few years ago, I started painting, and I discovered that I really enjoyed it, and I discovered that I was coming up with some pretty cool things, and my mind was latching onto them, even though I was still in that point in my life where I was very far away from the true nature of my soul. It seemed like painting was a way to connect. And so that's what I did. I started painting, and from there on, I was just full speed ahead. This was about 6 months after I started painting, I did my first art show, which, while it wasn't a monetary success, I had a great time and met a lot of cool, interesting people. I began sharing my artwork on social media more and trying to gain an audience. And in part, I did that, although I'll talk about this later. My concern isn't so much for the monetary value or the business aspect, but more of the artistry and the expression in general. And as an abstract artist, I feel like I've created sort of a channel for creativity to, come and find me and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn, whatever's going on in your mind, the depression or the anxiety or the happiness or the joy or the fear or the anger, we're going to turn those things into art. We're going to take that energy and we're going to transport them into, a form, into, a subject, into a piece of art. And so for me, artistry is a creative process. It is a spiritual process. It is an emotional process. I have always lived for the process, not so much the result. I've scratched ideas before that probably looked really nice to the eye that, they didn't convey the message that was in my heart, so I scratched them. On the other hand, I've kept things before that, nobody really enjoys looking at, but to me it has special significance. And today I'm going to keep this brief and simple. I just wanted to share with you some of my artwork and sort of open you up to the world of abstract art, so to speak. And so that maybe if you're interested, if you've thought, maybe I should try painting, it would be a good way to, clear my mind and connect with my emotions and spirit. Yeah, I'd say give it a shot. So, I'd like to show you a piece. First off, I consider this my greatest work of all time, this painting right here. This painting, I call it The Failure, and I'll tell you why. This painting right here, this painting it came about, I'd say around a year ago, and this was one of those days that I wasn't getting any art, I wasn't getting any good paintings, and I was very frustrated. And I had scratched about 4 ideas on this canvas, and I was done with it. And for some reason, I decided to keep going and to keep trying and to really feel the energy inside of me and allow it to translate into something artistic expression. And this is what came about. And to me, I hope you can see it, this is my favorite painting of all time. I've got something else. This is another one that I'm very excited about. This painting right here. Do it that way or that way. This one came about through a process of negation, a process of stripping away colors and textures and really, allowing sort of natural processes to take form. And so this was a total accident, and it's one of my pieces I'm most proud of. I've got this piece right here, which I did just yesterday, and I'm proud of it because I was feeling some negative emotions yesterday, and rather than getting eaten alive by the negativity and really allowing it to take a hold of my soul, instead I said, you know what? Let's just paint it out, and let's let the creativity take hold, and let's use the negativity for a positive result. And this is what came about through that. You can't really see from this angle, I don't think. I've got a lot of paintings. I've got hundreds. More are upstairs. I give paintings to a lot of friends, and I'm very big on that. So if you're interested in a painting, please contact me. This is something I did just today. You see, creativity for me is not a process of thinking. It's not a process of rationalizing an idea in hopes of creating something that, will rise to any standard of being, a perfectionist or anything. No, absolutely not. Painting, creativity in general is a process of being present with the flow, being present with the forcefulness that is using you, a creative being, as a channel for energy. This is a spiritual process. This is not necessarily a happy process. It's not, I can tell you guys, seriously, yesterday and today I did about 7 or 8 paintings, most of which I thought turned out okay, pretty good. I have not been super happy, the past 2 days. Nothing's especially wrong, and no, I'm not, and, really sad or anything, but I'm just sort of neutral. And part of that is neutralizing yourself as a physical being and allowing your mind to sort of just simmer down, and then opening yourself up to the creative forces within you. Living out your potential as a creative being and not being afraid of sometimes the negative energy coming through. Because you need that release. I can't tell you how great it feels sometimes to let off stress in the form of painting. And it's a process of negation, it's a process of adding and throwing back into the equation and constantly evolving, never settling for just one style. I've came up with all different kinds of styles of painting, some that I revisit, some that I don't, and I'm never satisfied. And, painting is something that lives through me. Yes, there are certain pieces that I will always hold, subjectively on a pedestal, but in most cases, paintings just come in and out, like through a door. And I symbolize that door. It's a door of creativity. It's a channel, a medium, and creativity is acting through me as a process to create a tangible thing in the form of a painting. And it's cleansing for the soul. I recommend it for anyone. And painting, it's one of my favorite hobbies. I greatly enjoy painting. I bug people sometimes with, just talking about painting because it's one of my main hobbies, even more so than juggling or, music or anything. I'm very big into my painting. I can't see myself stopping for any reason, although I think it's important to take breaks sometimes and allow yourself to sort of, recalibrate back into your spiritual sense and your creative, your expression, and allow it to sort of balance out. The last thing you want to do is force a painting. You don't want to, because this is not Brian painting, this is the universe energy painting. I don't care about the name. I don't really name my paintings. To me, it's not important. The importance is the energy and the process, and not the result, but only the path that is taken to achieve, however many paintings or whatever variations there are. And that's the same way I view music, back when I made music. I guess that's it for today, guys. It was a simple video on painting and just sort of telling you a little bit about the nature of creativity and, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, and how through creativity we act as a channel, as a medium for all kinds of energy, and through this we sort of cleanse ourselves and sort of reconnect back to the source of everything. And I'm greatly happy, and I will always be totally satisfied to be that medium, that channel for creativity. And if you're thinking about it, I highly recommend painting, or, if you rather draw, sketching, that's cool too. Whatever you want to do, creativity in general, self-expression in general, is something that I definitely couldn't live without, and I highly recommend it. Alright guys, I want to thank you for viewing this video. Soul Speak Visions, Brian here. I wish you a happy new year. Much love, my friends.